the hemp industry and MLM will merge and you're going to call me. He's like, yeah, I'm going to give you a call. Now, you guys have to understand, I speak all over the world for a living. So everybody says something like that all the time. So I'm like, yeah, right, whatever, call me. True story. Almost a year later, he calls me. Troy Neihart calls me. He's like, you ready? Haven't talked to him in a year. I'm like, ready for what? I told you hemp and MLM will merge. I'm like, oh, you ready? He's like, yeah. I said, what do you need me to do? He was like, you free tomorrow? Now, you have to understand, in this business, I'm trained to always ask questions, and I'll teach you a technique at some point called get down to the root of a person's question. Always remember, the third question is the real question. The third question is the real question. So he already got two. He got one more. Can you be in California tomorrow? I said, tomorrow, as in not today, but tomorrow? He's like, yeah. Give me your information, how it appears on your ID, and I'm going to fly you out to California. Flew me out to California. I'm like, man, this is pretty cool. I'm there. Benefits of working from home, right? Next thing you know, I get picked up at the airport. Nice, clean, long, black SUV. Door pops open. At your service, Mr. Charles Vest. I'm like, what the hell? Charles, what you doing? He's like, I'm your chauffeur for the day. I'm like, wait a minute, Troy, Charles, I walk into this room. There are 30 or 40 of the top producers in the world in this room, giving advice, giving input, answering questions, presenting their information, helping form the company. I'm like, what in the world have I walked into? So they pass out these little pipes. That's what I thought at the time. It's not a pipe. But that's what I was looking at. I'm like, wait a minute. I've never smoked anything in my life. Cigarettes, nothing. I don't even know how to do it. But I can't embarrass myself. So I don't even know how to put the thing together. I see a USB port mixed with I'm like, where is some fluid? I screw it together. And by now, I'm still doing this. Everybody else just vaping. So I'm like, yeah. I was like, man, this is going to be easy. I light it. I leave out the room. Total embarrassment. I'm like, man, I can't do this. Whatever it is, I'm out. I can't even use the product, right? They bring up a gentleman. Never forget this. His name is Billy Funk. So I'm like, wait a minute. Troy flies me out on 1 day notice. Charles picks me up in a black stretch. A guy named Billy Funk is in the business. With a last name like that, this might be something I need to take a look at. I said, what's your name? He said, Billy Funk. I'm like, are you serious? I go check him out. Extreme networker. I said, now, one thing about last names, with my last name being Beane, I'm accustomed to people making fun of me. Bean, green bean, jelly bean, pork and bean, lima bean, heard it all. So I'm saying to myself, I wonder what kind of problems he ran into with the last name Funk. Then I got to thinking about it. Beane, Funk, Beane and Funk. Extreme networker meets the mentor to millions in the same opportunity training. Online networker meets offline networker. I don't know, salt and pepper. Then I met Chris Husty, we're gonna call him Spinderella. I said, I don't know. This might be something I need to look at. So I got a call. They told me, Brian, we're going to be in your city. I canceled 2 trips and said, forget it. I will be with Kannaway Nation this morning. There's nowhere in the world I'd rather be right now than right here. Everybody got a pen and pad? Say yeah? All right, do me a favor. Empty your hands real quick. I got to do a test, and I'm going to give you some quick notes and get out of here. All right? I always test my audiences. I have to know the rhythm of the audience. It's real simple. I'm going to give you a phrase. I teach personal and economic empowerment. The first thing you got to do to get your money right is you got to get your mind right. The first thing you got to do to shift your income is shift your mindset. Everybody empty your hands. I'm going to say a phrase. I want you to clap once. Then I'm going to say another phrase. You got to clap twice. Each phrase, you're going to add 1 clap, and we're going to go to 5. Everybody with it? All right. To be successful, the first thing you got to do is you got to change the way you walk. Now you got to change the way you talk. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you act. That's how you change your life. This might work. This might work. Because I'm telling you, I go to companies all the time. People are like, wait a minute, what's I'm like, oh, God, you can't even get the clap down. It's going to be hard to build a business. Write this down. Shift your mindset, shift your income. Shift your mindset, shift your income. I teach personal and economic empowerment for a reason. Because I learned at a very, very early age that if you don't shift your mindset and the way you think, you'll always get the results you have. If you don't change your mindset and the way you think, you will always get the results you have. So everything starts first internally and then it manifests externally. Does that make sense to you guys? So PACE stands for people. Guys, I need this clicker. People, activity, and yourself. People, activity, and yourself. These are the things that you have to master in this business. Give me 1 second. People, activity, and yourself. Now, what PACE includes is a lot of different frameworks to help you be extremely successful in any company. Some of my clients include the U.S. federal government, Social Security Administration, professional athletes bring me out to speak, the Cincinnati Respiratory Hospital up in Ohio, Cincinnati Children's Hospital is one of my clients. I speak all over the world on those 3 basic things. Why? Because that's what earned me my first $1 million in my 20s. If you master people and getting people to move to action without touching them, write that down. I have to get people to move to action without touching them. That's the key to the business. Now we have to give those people the proper activities to do on a daily basis to be successful in your business. But the third one is the big one. And this is where a lot of people mess up. You're looking outside for internal satisfaction. The YS, which is yourself, is the one you have to master first. Listen, you have to master personal growth and self-development. You have to master the ability to change and become something today that you were not yesterday. Let me prove it to you. Write this down in your notes, and I'm gonna give you this framework and get out of here. Only one tense exists, and that's the present. Write that down. Only one tense, T-E-N-S-E, exists, and that's the present. The past does not exist. The future does not exist. Let me prove it to you. Yesterday, we were calling today what? Tomorrow. Did I lose anybody yet? Now, tomorrow, we will refer to today as what? So let me get this straight. Yesterday, we were calling today tomorrow. Tomorrow, today, will be referred to as what? Yesterday. So you are where you are today because of some decisions you made yesterday. You will be where you're going to be tomorrow because of some things you do when? Today. So today is all that matters. It doesn't matter if you haven't succeeded in this business yet. You only been in 90 days. 85. People kill me. They act like, you know what, we'll go to a job 15, 20 years and give that plenty of time. We'll go to school 12 years, get out, get another degree and get a master's. Some people go all the way and get their PhD, get in debt to do it, come out making $30,000 a year, and they get that 16 years. You won't get your business 16 days. Guys, this is a business. It does not, write this down. Your business begins the day you start doing it correctly. Tenure means nothing. People say, Brian, I've been in the business a long time. I'm like, it doesn't matter how long you've been in. It matters how long you've been doing it properly. So that means if today is all that matters, I don't care what happened to you in your past. I know some people had a terrible childhood. I know some people had a terrible marriage. I know some people had a terrible wedding. I know some people are in terrible relationships. I know some people, I don't know anybody right now. Write this down. This business is not for you. It's for the person you're becoming. So people say, Brian, I just don't know, man. I don't know if this business is for me. I say, you know what? You're absolutely right. It's not for you. It's for the person you're becoming. That person will reap the reward and benefits of what they decide to do when? Today. See, the production you put in now, and a lot of people miss this, and Troy, these guys will tell you, the production you put in now, it won't manifest until 3 months from now. See, this is not a job where you work, get a check. Work, get a check. In other words, the momentum that you're building, the presentations you're doing, the exposures you're creating, you have to work this business for 90 days like no pay exists. Then watch what happens to your check in August. Watch. What you are getting today in your paycheck is a result of what you did back in January and February. That was the old you. But what too many people do, they look at their circumstances now and they confuse their success with what they have when. Now. You are building your future now. Does that make sense to you guys? So this business is not for you. It's for the person you're becoming. When you become the person you need to become, your paycheck will reflect it. So let's get into it real quick. Write this down. The 5 fundamentals. There are 5 basic things Kannaway Nation has to do in order to succeed. It's very simple. In Pays, I have several different frameworks. My gift from God is taking complex things and making them very, very simple so everyone can understand it. So all we do in our business is real simple. It doesn't matter what type of business you're in, especially this company with this product and this opportunity and these leaders, this works perfectly. Here's why. The first thing you have to do is prospect. Prospect simply means list building. I don't care what anyone tells you, you're in the people business. Write this down. Your network determines your net worth. Your network determines your net worth. The person with the biggest list will win. The cool thing about it is everybody in here has the same tools to create a huge list. See, you can't even get started in our business yet until you start with large numbers. But everybody started off with the number what? So start with yourself. Some of you guys aren't even a product of your own product. It's hard to recruit when you haven't even recruited yourself yet. So your list begins with you. Your network determines your net worth. Facebook is worth billions of dollars because they have the biggest what? Network. This kid is worth more. I don't think people understand. You can add Mark Cuban, you can add Oprah Winfrey, you can add Donald Trump, you can put some of those guys together. He's worth more than all of them combined. So you don't have to be Mark Zuckerberg. Just create a big list using his list. Some of y'all missed that. Don't worry about it. You don't have to be him. Just use his network. Now, what you do when you start prospecting, you have to be good at peaking and passing. Say it again. Peaking and passing. Say it again. Peak and pass. Say it again. Peak and pass. If you're brand new, get good at piquing a person's interest and then passing them to what's called a higher source dynamic. Write this down. Anything but you. People say, Brian, I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I'm like, good, because we don't want you to say a whole lot anyway. You're perfect for the business. Don't say anything. Guys, let me tell you something. From what I've seen, and Chris is a genius, if you get good at 1 and 2, they do 3, 4, and 5. If you get good at 1 and 2, they do 3, 4, and 5. What's peaking and passing? Peaking is simply saying a little bit about a person, just enough to get them interested. You don't want to see if they want to join. You're not trying to close them. You just want to see if they want more what? Information. Now you pass them to anything but you. You guys have the best videos. You guys have the best funnels. You guys have the best capture pages. You guys have the best leadership. You guys have the best marketing. Why are you doing all the talking? See, here's what some of you guys are doing. You're trying to throw the ball and catch it. You can't throw the ball and catch it. You're going to get tired. Look, I've been doing this 20 years. I'm telling you, since I was 19 years old. I just turned 39 years old. I've been doing this 20 years. I see networkers burn out all the time because they go from company to company to company to company to company to company to company, and they don't realize it's not the company, it's you. You never learn how to operate and use systems properly. People say, Brian, you're always so excited, so energetic. Yeah, because I know how to prospect, peak, and pass and let the company do the rest. Write this down. The person who peaks cannot invite. The person who peaks cannot invite. So when you peak them, you get them to a higher source dynamic and let something else do all the what? Presenting and inviting. Not you. Brand new people, I can promise you this. If you don't get good at anything else, get good at list building, peaking and passing. Prospecting, peaking and passing. Prospecting, peaking and passing. Everybody got it? Prospect, peak, and pass. Now people say, Brian, what do I say? How do I peak? Oh man, with this company, it's real simple. Write this down. Category creator. These are peak interest phrases. It's real simple. Category creator. Keywords. These are called phrases that pay. Category creator. Brian, what's that? It's real simple. Netflix put Blockbuster out of business. You want to be Netflix or you want to be Blockbuster? Netflix. The iPod put the Walkman out of business. You want cassettes or you want MP3s? eBay put pawn shops out of business. You want to be a pawn shop or you want to be eBay? See, certain companies come along and create certain trends, and certain trends will always be identified as the category creator of an industry. You guys are not a product. You guys are not a service. You guys are not a company. You are the genesis of an industry. It's much bigger than you. It's much bigger than you. So when you pique a person's interest, you want to use certain key phrases. Category creator. Lifestyle. Lifestyle. Movement with a comp plan. Hey, Brian, what do you do? Oh, it's real simple. I'm a category creator. We teach people how to enhance their lifestyle with a movement. We have a movement with a compensation plan. Last word, research it. Research it. See, I'm just peeking in what? Peeking in what? Peeking in what? You peak and pass. Hey, Brian, what do you do? Oh, man, I need you to research it. I'm part of a movement with a compensation plan where we help change each other's lifestyle. See, you can mix them, change them, rearrange them. The problem is too many of you guys too worried about what to say. Say something. You can't mess this up. Keep it real simple. Lifestyle, movement, category creator, research it. Everybody say it after me. Lifestyle, movement, category creator, research it. Research it. Lifestyle, movement, category creator, research it, movement, lifestyle. Those are phrases that pay. Now, got it? Now, they say, I still want more information. I'm glad you do. Check your email. I just sent it to you. I'm glad you do. Put in your name and email. I just gave it to you. They're going to send you the information. See, now you pass it to a higher source dynamic. It does the presentation. Anybody but who? Let me ask you a question. You want Chris Hussey and an Emmy Award-winning crew to do your presentation, or you want to explain it? I'll take Chris every day of the week. I'm going with Spinderella. Chris, don't worry, I'm Pepper, don't worry. And Billy, you ain't left out of this thing either. Billy, so, okay. Plug. A lot of people don't know this. A presentation doesn't always close your people. A lot of people don't know that. A presentation won't always close them, but oftentimes training will. So what you want to do, I do what's called assume to close. I start working with prospects, meaning using exposing them to more and more and more of the research, because ultimately, if I keep plugging them into training, they'll end up joining the business. So I'll say, look, you're getting your money together, no problem. You got to talk it over with your wife, no problem. You got to talk it over with your husband, no problem. Let me put you on this conference call. Let me put you on this Google Hangout. Let me introduce you to this system. Let me email you and forward you a couple of videos. And then now what you're doing subtly is you're plugging in and plugging them into how to do the business. See, the presentation is what we do. Plugging them into training is actually how to do it. People get more confident when they see how to do it, they'll end up becoming your business partner. Does that make sense to you guys? Very, very simple. Last but not least is you promote. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, promote. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, promote. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, promote. That's all I've done for the past 20 years. I've been to the top of 5 network marketing companies. 5. Using this system. I'm telling you, it's $1 million formula. And I'm gonna have an ongoing relationship with the guys. I can't take a lot of time today, but I want you to understand. You're gonna be bad before you're good. You're gonna be good before you're great. Write this down. Jim Rohn said it best. What I lack in skill, I make up in numbers. What you lack in skill, you just make up in what? In numbers. It's not a big deal. You may not be the best person. You may not be the rock star from day one. You're going to be bad before you're good. You're going to be good before you're great. But what you lack in skill, you make up in what? Numbers. Here's another quick framework for you from Pays. Form, feel, function, finesse. Write it down. Just trust me. Form, feel, function, finesse. That's a framework that I'll show you. And I have some tools in the back and stuff that y'all can take home and get an extended education on mindset, personal growth, and how to apply these things. But first thing you have to do is learn the form. Why is Chris setting up this tool a certain way? You don't have to understand it. Stop worrying about the root. Just pick the fruit. I've been listening to you guys for 3 days. Some of you guys too worried about the root. Just pick the fruit. Don't worry about why. You get good at the form. You get good at putting people into the form that's been created. That'll make you start to feel better about your results. And when you feel better about your results, you can bring other people in to do it, and then it'll start flowing together. Feel, function, form, and finesse. So when that happens and you start doing this over and over and over again, messing up, making mistakes, don't worry about it. Look, you want to make mistakes now while your group is small. You don't want to make mistakes when y'all start filling up Phillips Arena. You don't want to make mistakes when y'all come back to Atlanta and you're in the Georgia Dome. You want to make the mistakes now while you're in a hotel grand ballroom. This is where legends are born. Does that make sense to you guys? All right, I got to fly through this real quick. Everybody repeat. Prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, promote. You do 1 and 2. Corporate does 3, 4, and 5. Look, the one thing they can't do is introduce it to your people for you. Now, they can do a lot of things, but they can't find out who you know on your behalf. But this I can promise you. I've seen it. If you do 1 and 2, they have the rest down packed. So what I want to give you real quick is just some stages you're going to go through while you're trying to pique interest, and I'm done. Everybody ready? Is everybody ready? She's ready. Is everybody ready? She's ready. Is everybody ready? He's ready. All right, let's rock and roll. First stage of interest. Everything in our business is a sorting process. Everything you do is sorting. The problem is a lot of you have too much emotion in the business. Write this down. Be married to the business, but don't have kids with it. Some of y'all got kids with the business. Be married to the business, but don't have kids with it. Write this down. I love you, but I'm not in love with you. Don't use it personally. See, in business, you got to strip all that emotion out, man. Look, the emotions that had you broke. Your emotions have you broke and in a situation where other people outside the business are controlling you instead of you controlling the business. So when you go through these stages, you have to have what's called relaxed intensity. Never get too excited, never get too depressed. Just learn how to stay cool, calm, and in the middle at all times. Everybody got it? All right? So the stage of interest, when you're peaking interest, you're going to go through some stages. Stage 1 is no number, meaning they're not even interested. They're not going to give you the number. Now, a lot of you guys get depressed and sad right here. Oh, Brian, I talked to my friends and nobody. How many? Man, all 3 of them said 3. You're not even in business at 3. First of all, when you're talking to people, you have to understand some of them are not going to be interested. They're not even going to give you their number, for example, in a cold market scenario. Here's the difference between an amateur and a professional. I love stage 1 people because you didn't waste my time. I'd rather you be a stage 1 no than this person. Get the number and it's the wrong number. Oh, just me? Anybody ever given you 777-9311? I got home and tried to call it. I'm like, 777-9311. So you get the number, and it's the wrong number. That person lied. At least number 1 told the whole what? Truth. Then you get this guy. You get the number, it's the right number, but you can never reach him. Who ever met that person before? Oh, man, you can never reach him. Then you get this person. You get the number, it's the right number, you contact them, and they're not interested. Who's been there before? See, there are different levels of interest. Here's what's funny. 2, 3, and 4 are all just like number 1. They're just not honest enough. Now, you want to deal with the person that's being honest, or you want to deal with the person that you got to guess what's going on? Brian, I left a couple of voicemails. Now, Brian, at what point do you cut off from your prospect? Now, Brian, how many times do you follow up with your people? Now, Brian, at what point do you feel, I'm like, look, you're bringing too much emotion in business. Keep moving. Keep moving. Get the number. It's the right number. You contact them. They're interested, and they don't show up. Oh, I'm the only one deal with no-shows. Guys, look. No-shows are part of our business. It's part of who we are. It's part of what we do. You're going to have no-shows in the business. That person is no different than the person who's not interested and didn't even give you the number in the first place. They just drug you along. You see, here's what I've done. People say, Brian, what's your cutoff point? I don't have a cutoff point. What I've established is I put people in a category and I leave them there. So once I develop my framework, you decide where you want to go in my framework, and then I treat you accordingly. A lot of you guys have a restaurant out here, and you're selling steak and lobster. Steak and lobster. On your menu is steak and lobster. And people are coming up asking for burgers, and you're running to Chris going, there's anything we can do for the person that wants burgers? We don't have burgers. We sell what? Chris, I got a friend of mine that wanted fries. Charles, he know everybody in the world. We don't sell burgers. Burgers is up the street. See, once you identify your demographic and decide who you're going to roll with and who you're going to market to, you're looking for the person that wants this opportunity at this particular what? At this particular what? You're not looking to cater to everybody that you feel will blow it up. We're looking for people who want to blow up what we have. So stop trying to cater your business to everybody. I don't care if Michael Jordan walk in here. Hey, look, Mike, you like steak or lobster? We don't have burgers today. It's not on the menu. If you had a restaurant, real deal, and your menu had steak and lobster, would you go out and buy patties? No. But some of you guys let customers determine what you market. They're not on your level yet. This person, you get the number, it's the right number, you contact them, they're interested, they show up, and they don't sign up. Almost home. Now, life in the business doesn't feel like this, but these are some individuals that you're going to run into. Does that make sense to you guys? You get the number, it's the right number, you contact them, they're interested, they show up, they sign up, and they quit. People say, man, it's going to be a long journey through these phases. Yeah, if you're dealing with 3 people. Still trying to see which one is going to sign up this Friday. See, when you're dealing with 300 and 167 are not interested and 82 show up and 29 sign, that's the business. That's the business. And from what I understand, Billy, how many legs we need strong? How many legs we need strong? How many legs do we need strong? So when 300 people show up and 187 not interested and 62 sign up and quit and 29 sign, I still see myself at the top. Get the number. You contact them. They're interested. They show up. They sign up and they produce. Now I might smile. See, I don't smile till I get to stage what? I don't smile till I get to stage 7. Some of you guys start smiling when you get somebody to just show up. Yes. Yes. I'm like, once you become a professional, you'll learn real quick. If that's the emotion you're going to bring to the business, you will not be in business long. Be married to the game, but don't have kids with it. So I use frameworks like PAYS, people, activity, yourself. I use fundamentals like prospect, peak and pass, present, plug, promote. I use formulas like feel, form, function, and finesse, because when I teach things, it's going to stick with you and it's going to stay with you. I'll prove it. New people, all you're responsible for is how many steps? Company does the last what? How many do you do? Company does the last what? How many stages of interest are there? You worried about the final what? How many F's are there? 4. Everybody see what I'm saying? Now you get into a rhythm, and the more and more you build and the more you use the tools, the better off you'll be. You got the best opportunity in the world, and some of y'all still questioning yourselves. Look, the person who's not in the business yet doesn't know more than you. The person who's not in the business yet does not know more than you. So why are you nervous about talking to somebody who's not even in the business? I'm going to conclude with this, and I'll give you guys some continued education in the back, and I'll stick around and answer questions with you guys. How bad do you really want it? I hear you. Nah, I don't know. How bad do you really want it? Because, see, here's the reality of the situation. You all had the same company. You got the same leadership. You got the same tools. You got the same compensation plan. You got the same products. The only difference is you. The only variable is you. I haven't figured out yet in 20 years of doing network marketing full time. This is how my 10-year-old son eats. This is how I feed my whole family. This is how I live my lifestyle. I haven't figured out in 20 years yet, when everybody has the same opportunity, why is it that some of us make it, some of us don't? Why are some of us 7-figure earners and some of us won't? I finally figured it out a few years ago. It's you. It's you. And until you understand that creating new habits, focusing on yourself, being selfish for at least 90 days because you've been focused on somebody else way too long. It's time for you to focus on who? It's time to focus on who? How many babies do you know that give away their bottle? Every baby I know is like, me, what? My. Try to grab a baby's bottle while he's using it. What's the word? No. Write this down for your notes as I conclude. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. You have to get rid and say no to the things that are taken away from your business. You got to say no to the things that are taken away from your what? From your business. And the minute you decide to stop watching your watch and watch your time, you'll become a millionaire. The minute you decide, stop watching your watch and watch your time, you will become a millionaire. But you got to remember, no is a complete sentence. So I'm going to conclude and give you guys some quick education here. I didn't get a chance to do these. I'll come back another time. Don't worry. All right? There's some forms in the back. How many of you guys agree personal growth and self-development is the key? Hit me a round of applause if you agree personal growth and self-development is the key. That's the keys to the business. For Kannaway, whatever you do, don't go to my site and get this because the prices are more expensive. For Kannaway, I took $100 off 2 bundles. $100 off. This program right here is called Live Well. It's about how networkers need to stay well-balanced, well-connected, well-read, well-focused, and live a life of wellness. You can't be ripping and running in this business and you can't walk to the door without getting tired. You have to live what? Well. How important is it to be well-connected? How important is it to be well-read? How important is it to be well-respected? How important is it to be well-balanced? How important is it to be living well? That's a 1-hour DVD. Also in the bundle is included Enjoy the Struggle. Enjoy the Struggle is another 45-minute DVD where we talk about going through some of life challenges and enjoying every moment of it so you can turn around and show the universe that you deserve it. So you got to learn how to enjoy the struggle. They say a caterpillar struggles, and we open up the pod to open up the caterpillar's cocoon. You kill the caterpillar because God wanted that caterpillar to struggle to build its wings. So the fight to get out of the cocoon is what made him the butterfly. When you open up the struggle, you killed him. You're supposed to enjoy struggle. Then we threw in some free bonuses with that as well. A free audio on courage, right? Network Marketing Lifestyles interviewed me for 12 months. We give you a free audio on courage, and then you got 2 DVDs for $45. One is online access, and one you can leave with today for $47. Last but not least, this is the big boy package. This is the best of pays compilation. My 2 assistants are at the back table. The first 50 who get this one get the other one for free included. The first what? 50. The first what? 50. The first 50 to get the compilation. This is called a quitting clock at the top. These are all in the back. You leave with them today. There are 12 things every day that try to rewind your clock and keep you and make you quit. And I talk about how to overcome all 12 things that are trying to knock you out of this business. All 12. What lies beneath? There's certain things you were taught as a baby. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's a lie. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's a lie. There's certain things you were taught as a child that were said to you that still affect how you operate today. That's called what lies beneath. Survival of the fittest. What makes an ant, a tiger, an eagle, and a human, if you take all those qualities of those animals, what makes them the top of the food chain in their environment? And then the SEAL philosophy. A SEAL has one goal, commitment to accomplish the mission. You get all 4 of those DVDs and the other one for free. And that is $197. For all that personal growth and self-development, that's over 6 hours of personal growth and self-development, and the first 25 get the other one for free. I'm sorry, first 50. How many? How many? How many? 50. The first 50. So my assistant is in the back. Guys, do me a big favor. Stand up, rise to your feet. You pick the bundle you want. It's up to you. One is $47, one is $197. But I do know this. To be successful, you have to change the way you walk. I told y'all I suck. Let's go. You got to change the way you walk. You got to change the way you talk. You got to change the way you think. You got to change the way you act. That's how you change your life. My name is Beane. I got to go, man. I see you in the magazines, all right? Thanks a lot. I see y'all at the back table. First 50, and I look forward to working with you guys in the future.